Welcome back, guys, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, along with the Terrible Towel. All I can say about Sunday's performance is wow. I mean, wow. Who would have ever thought we would have a game that would end 43-18 in favor of the Steelers? Now, not saying that I didn't think we would win the game, but after looking at the 49ers, the way they played, the Vikings, you could have had some minor concerns considering how we played against the Patriots. Our offense is the offense. We looked pretty decent against the Patriots. We did stall out at times that we didn't need to necessarily stall out, but we still put up 21 points, gave a pretty decent effort. So the offense I really wasn't concerned with. But again, the Niners defense looked pretty well against the Vikings, but again, it is the Vikings. But then also the Niners run game looked very good and very powerful, very potent against the Vikings. Look at what they did against us. Not a whole lot. We did a great job on the front end, filling the holes. And Ryan Shazier, guys, I feel like this is somebody I'm going to be talking about all year. He's showed us what he's been able to do in preseason, and in both games he's showing up. But this game, this was by far the best game in his early career. I mean, this guy's all over the place, shooting the gap, getting tackles for loss. Look how fast he was on that fumble. Had he not been the type of player that's aware and in the position, or had he not shot the gap like he had been doing all game, he's not going to get that fumble that quick. Because Carlos Hyde actually did locate the ball fairly quick, but it was too late. Shazier was all over it. He gets a sack. I mean, this dude had a bang-up game. I mean, a bang-em game. You can't do better than that. He had a great game all around. This dude had a phenomenal game. Love it. Love it. Stephon Tua gets a sack. Bud Dupree gets his second sack of the season. Cam Hayward gets a sack. These guys showed up. Lawrence Timmons did good things on the goal line. Big McCullers, Big Dan. A lot of these dudes contributed. Even Mike Mitchell had a nice play in coverage. Did you guys see that? Mike Mitchell comes up big in coverage, made a great play. And then also a sighting by Boykin in the end zone. He makes a phenomenal play, almost came up with the pick. So I can't wait, until he gets back into the mix a little bit. And even I'm going to give some credit to Antoine Blake. Did a good job with run support, made some nice tackles and things of that nature. So I think we're going to be okay, man. Once everyone starts gelling, as it looked like we did this past game. But, we still got room to grow. But I think if we can give this type of effort on defense, getting necessary stops when we need them, situational, defense and situational football, if we can continue to do that, we could definitely be a problem. Because our offense, I think, is only going to get better. We got Le'Veon coming back this week. And a couple more weeks after that, we'll get Martavis Bryant back. Hey, I think we're going to be something to deal with, man, as far as offensively. Put a lot of pressure on these defensive coordinators. Another thing that I loved, Ben went no huddle for a good portion of the game. He even said in his post-game interview that a lot of the times he was calling the plays. Love it. Love it. When Ben is calling the shots, and I'm not taking anything away from Todd Haley, because Todd Haley called some great plays as well. Looking at the plays that were called while we were in normal huddle situation, great plays. But the mix-up, letting Todd Haley do his thing to get that tempo and pace going, and then let Ben take over and do the no-huddle thing, it's a match made in heaven. I mean, we've seen that happen before. It happened last year at times. I love Ben in the no-huddle. And shout-outs to D'Angelo Williams for the great job that he's done for us while Le'Veon Bell has been out. And I think, just like everyone is saying, his carries are still going to continue. Of course, they're not going to be as much, but he's still going to be, a good, reliable option whenever Le'Veon needs, a quick breather or what have you. I like D'Angelo Williams a whole lot. I said that when we signed him, and he's been proven, he's proved himself very well in preseason and has definitely proved himself in these 2 games, getting 3 touchdowns in this last outing. Love it. I don't have a whole lot to say, man. We did a fairly good job. And this is what I would hope Terrible Towel Tuesday would be, every week, where there's not much I can say. But we did a great job. You know, who knows how good the 49ers are? We don't know. Like I said, they were playing the Vikings. You know, the Vikings is another team that's, they only come up, so you couldn't really evaluate that. We stomped them, so who knows exactly what the Niners are. Now, coming up, just looking ahead next week, we got the Rams. We got the Rams. And the Rams, that defense is going to be something to deal with, even though, you know, they did lose this past week, but you did see that they beat Seattle. So, hey, you never know who you're going to get. You know, the NFL obviously is week to week. Look at the Redskins. The Redskins beat the Rams. Who would have thought that? Who would have thought the Redskins would beat the Rams? The Buccaneers beat up on the Saints for the most part. You know, they didn't stomp them, but they beat them. You see what I'm saying? Tennessee looked so good last week, and then they get punished. So it's like, you never know. You never know. Look, another thing I got to mention, look at the Buffalo game. I'm thinking that's going to be a game that Buffalo is going to win, judging at how New England played us. New England shows up, and it's a shootout. You know, it ended up being, 40-32. Crazy. You never know, man. The NFL is week to week. So you never know what's going to happen. But anyway, it's going to be an interesting challenge for us next week, guys, against the Rams with the solid defensive front that they have. You know, I think our offense, I'm willing to match them up against anybody. I'm not afraid of any defense at this point because we've proven that we can do our thing when we're in rhythm. So again, it's going to come down to our defense, how much our defense can step up and how much they can play and perform when necessary. Like I said, no one's perfect. You're going to give up some points. It's the NFL. You're not going to contain anyone the whole entire game. You know, unless you're the Philadelphia Eagles, you guys get contained. DeMarco Murray gets shut down by the Dallas Cowboys. This dude has 11 yards in 2 games. Wow. But with the exception of that, you're just not going to shut down players and teams for the entire game. You know, it's very rare that you pitch shutouts and things like that. So, you know, don't be so hard on the defense. I know some guys out there saying, oh, we gave up the big touchdown. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. The other team gets paid as well. But right now, at this moment, as I stand here, proud of the Steelers. I'm proud of what we got going, and I'm proud of, you know, like Coach Tomlin would say, the arrow is pointed up in a lot of areas and a lot of positions. So that's all I got for you this week, guys. Make sure you tune in next week and see what we're saying after the Rams game. And, you know, let's keep it going, man. Let's get this terrible towel swinging, and here we go chants, and let's keep it moving. So, all right, guys, definitely leave your thoughts, leave your comments, and I promise you, it won't hurt you to hit the like button. All right, guys, so before we get out of here, let's get it. Here we go. And let me know what you think. Once again, guys, thanks for coming by. And if you want to interact with me live, head on over to Sim Standard Radio every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, along with Smitty and Azure Effect. The call-in number for the show is down in the description. Now, of course, for more content, go ahead and click the link above. And before you go, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. All right, guys. Until next time, lights out.